super fired up about today's topic. It's gonna be good. You guys come on in the room. Replay viewers, if you're watching on the replay, type the word replay in the comments. And also, be sure to tag a friend because you guys, you don't want to grow mentally alone. The worst thing you can do is outgrow your friends, outgrow your people that you're closest to, right? So bring them along with you. Don't hold them to whatever they do, but just at least invite and share so that both of you guys can be fired up. All of you guys can be fired up. So this is Good Tea for Life. You guys, we created this as a group, as a community where we come together and we talk about stuff that is just good tea, you know, like back in the day, and even now you see everybody talking about the messy tea. We love the messy tea. We love to see right now all this creepy stuff. We love to see so-and-so breaking up, so-and-so cute, had a baby, blah, blah, blah. That's the tea, right? This is our time to talk about good tea. Tea that is going to uplift our souls, literally. And so I love this because we get to really just grow and support ourselves and our community. So today is going to be super juicy because we're talking about the mind. As usual, we're talking about the mind. Let me grab this. Hold on, let's see if you guys can see this window. Hold on, y'all. Facebook. There we go. Let me see what this is. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yikes, phone's not on mute. So, today we're going to talk about Exodus. I was reading this morning. You guys already know this. My good tea comes from my own personal journal stuff. So, you hear what I'm saying? I've already just done this stuff for myself. This is my own soul work for the day, and then I share it with you guys. Now, in Exodus, you know I'm obsessed with the children of Israel story. In Exodus, chapter 13, verses 17 through 18, for some reason I was led to read that again. I love the story about Moses. I rant about it all the time. It's become a running joke with my tribe, you guys here online. But I was reading it again, and I was like, man, you know, when the children of Israel, these are people who were enslaved. You guys know that they were slaves. They were taken against their will. They're taken into this camp, Egypt, right? And Pharaoh has them doing stuff, right? Slaving, building stuff, just using them for what they know how to do. And they pretty much had no control over their days. They had to do what they were told. They were beaten, they were whipped, they were made examples for people who tried to get away from what was happening. So it was this whole oppressive situation. And here's what's interesting. So I'm going to fast forward the beginning of the story. If you don't know it, don't worry, I'll be ranting about it again soon. But the beginning of the story, God chose Moses. And he's like, Moses, look, you're going to go and you're going to deliver these people. And Moses is like, no, I can't do that. I speak funny, I'm weird, I'm really not qualified, Lord. I'm going to need you to call somebody else. And God was like, no, so you're going to do this. And Moses was like, really, no, I'm not qualified. How many of you guys have ever felt not qualified, but something keeps telling you that you should go do something? Right? I love that part about Moses because I feel like the greatest leaders that we follow, if you really look at their backstories, a lot of times they didn't feel qualified. They felt like they were inadequate in some area of their life, but they still kept pushing forward. And so I just want to encourage you guys this morning today to do so. I'm always wondering, like, what am I doing? I swear, everything I do, I'm always like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then I just got to do it because it's just who I am. And I feel the call, and I'm just committed to the things that are pulling us on my soul, period. That's just the way that it goes. So I want to invite you to live that way as well. Now, back to Moses. Moses is literally feeling inadequate, and God is like, look, you got to go. I'm not pulling up, bro. You're going, right? And so he was like, look, tell your cousin, bring your cousin, he can speak for you. Since you feel like you can't speak, fine. I'm gonna help you with that. But I'm going to need you to bring your cousin, and he's going to speak for you. But you're doing the mission. And Moses is like, okay, here I go. So Moses goes, and he's like, well, how am I going to go to the king, to Pharaoh, and just tell him to let the people go? Like, how that work? And God just gives him all these things to do, and God shows him his power. So Moses goes, and he does the things that God tells him to do. Pharaoh's like blown away. The people get delivered. Boom, the people are delivered. Pharaoh, he's lost. It's like, oh my gosh, you know what, take them folks, I ain't got time. Because ever since Moses came, all these things started happening, and Pharaoh just was like, I want my life back, it's too much. So, the people get delivered, you guys. These slaves, who've been slaves for years, historically, you gotta think about the slaves. They've had children. So you got children that are growing up in this oppressive state. So here's something that's very interesting that we gotta pay attention to as a people. we do what we are born into, right? So whatever you've experienced when you've grown up, and you find yourself trying to break those habits, you're born into some mindsets. You're born into some habits. You're born into some environments. And so that's why it seems so painful and so big and tragic when it's time to let some stuff go. Because you're just like, I don't even know how, because this is the way that it's always been. Anybody ever felt that way before? Right. What's up, guys? I see you guys on the chat. So here's the deal. These people who have been oppressed, their grandmamas, their mamas, the kids, everybody in the family historically have been oppressed. That's all they know. So now you have a man who comes and says, God's going to save you. Here's where we're going. I'm good. You guys follow me. I promise you're going to be okay. So they see the miracles that Moses has performed. God gave him some tasks to do, and he performed it, and he's performing his miracles. So it gives them some evidence that this may be the way. And if you read in Exodus 13, here's what struck me. In chapter 13, verses 17, it says, when Pharaoh let the people go, God led them not by the way of the land of the Philistines, although it was nearer. So here's what's interesting. These are people that were oppressed. These are people that were slaves. And Pharaoh, he finally released them. You know, God gave Moses the tools. Some of you guys are looking for tools in the wrong places. God gave Moses the tools to get these people released. And then, when Pharaoh let them go, God led them not by the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was nearer. Now, that was very interesting because it's like, so God has promised that he's going to free them. But then he takes them the long way. And it says, for God said, lest the people change their purpose when they see war and return to Egypt. Now, when I read that, I was like, okay, wait, what? Okay, so let me read. Remember, I tell you guys, the best way to study is to read different versions of the scripture. So I always go to the CEV version. And if you look at that same section, it says, after the king finally let the people go, the Lord did not lead them through Philistine territory, though that was the shortest way. God said, if they are attacked, they may decide to return to Egypt. So he led them around through the desert and towards the sea. So here's what I thought was interesting. God knew that even though he let these people go who had been mentally and physically oppressed forever, right? If they, even though they just got freed, if they got into war right away, then they were going to, because they still had the same mindset, they were going to turn around and go back where they just came from. And that hit me hard because I'm like, man, think about it, guys. There's so many things that we want to break free from, you know, and when you get out into the, when you're out away from whatever you're breaking free from, you need a leader and you need a new mindset because you're just out and it's different. And because it's different, you're going to be uncomfortable. And even though they were slaves, they were comfortably uncomfortable. They were used to being slaves. They didn't know anything else. So, like, what's the deal? That's all they knew, right? And so here's what's interesting. God already knew. When I let them go, they got the same mind frame. First thing pop off, they will turn back. Isn't that interesting? It's so interesting, and you can apply that to so many things. We're doing like the health and nutrition right now. Everybody, like the first 7 days, you're putting new food in your body. Maybe you have something that you're not comfortable with. Because it's uncomfortable, typically when you start a new workout plan or when you start a new whatever, you're going to instantly go, I'm about to just stop this because it's too much. Right? It's only been 7 days. You've been eating bad all your life, but 7 days, it's too much, so I quit. Mindset is everything. That's why I titled this, Mindset Determines What You Get and Don't Get. Because the power, even though God is God and he's big and he's amazing and everything is like, he can do anything, he's able, but he doesn't change your willpower. You have to get the willpower. So whatever you want to go for, it is up to you. Because God is God. It ain't got nothing to do with, like, you could pray all day, but if you pray with the wrong mindset, you still will be stuck, right? So I just thought that was so interesting because if you read, here's what God did. He took them out of slavery, right? He took them out of slavery, and then he let them go the long route. He sent them into the wilderness, into the desert, instead of the ideal way. Sometimes we're looking for this ideal way. Sometimes we're looking for this way that's a little shorter and it's a little easier, right? But hey, good morning, guys. But it was interesting because it's like God knew that their mind wouldn't support the new stuff. You ever see people get that surgery and then I say on Dr. Phil and all these shows, but people get these weight loss surgeries and stuff, and then they're back in the hospital because of complications, because their mind was still eating the way that they already ate. So even though they changed the physical, they didn't change their mind, so they were still getting back the same results. And it's true for us all in every area of our life. That's why you see people win the lottery and they next thing you know they're broke, because their mindset is still back where they were. Your money, your body, your love, your career will always be where your mind is. So if you want to have more in life, you've got to elevate your mind. Come on, somebody. I just got excited. If you want to have more, what you want? What you want more of? You want more money? You need a new mind. You want a better body? You need a new mind. Like everything starts in the mind. And everything that you get will always go back to your level of mentality. Come on, somebody. So if you are in a, like we grew up in like a kind of oppressive church. Like it was great at first and then things just went really bad, right? Whatever. I'm grateful for it because it made me who I am now. I wouldn't be right here if it wasn't for that church. But the rules were so crazy. So when I got out, when I turned 18 and got into the world, man, I didn't know what was going on because everything was the devil. Everything was it. So I had to think differently or else I wouldn't make moves. Even when I decided to move to California, I didn't have no money. I didn't have no nothing. I had 3 months rent, and that was it. I didn't even think about food. I just knew that I needed to go to California. I just knew. I didn't even know all the details. Some of y'all waiting on all the details. And God's trying to free you from something, but you need all the steps, and that's just not how it works. There's a million stories to prove it, right? So I get fired up about this because here they are. God takes them the long way into the wilderness. So you may have just made a decision that seems like you just made a wilderness decision. You may have been called to go do something that just doesn't seem like, it seems like you're just going out there and you're going to be on a limb and it doesn't make sense. And so what's interesting is when they went into the wilderness, God, He led them. So there was a cloud that led them by day and fire by night. So they were never alone. So even if you feel like you're in your wilderness moment, you're never alone. You're never alone. And it has everything to do with your mind. It has everything to do with your mind. So here's what's interesting. God takes people, He frees them, He super prepares them, and He's like, look, this is the promise. I got y'all, period. He already promised. The promise never changed. But what would happen on this wilderness experience is that the circumstance may change, and so then people begin to complain. Then people begin to murmur. Misty says, weight loss surgery is not an easy way. It is work. Right. It's not the easy. Right, Misty. And this says, mindset is the biggest part. Period. It's the biggest part of everything. And so they're in the wilderness, and all these things are happening. They run out of water, then boom, they got it. They run out of food, then boom, they got it. Things are happening to test. But God is showing up for them every single time. And then they will complain. God delivers them. And with the first issue, they start complaining to Moses. So I want to talk to my leaders for a second. How many of you guys feel like you're trying to lead people somewhere and you've gotten them to be, free from something, and then they want to just like go back to what they know? And it's frustrating. Can you imagine how frustrating it is if you're Moses and you go into a land and you perform miracles and you deliver so many people, a whole nation, and now they're mad at you because the first little issue that comes up, they're back into their mentality. Remember, you will always shrink back to the mindset. So you gotta think how Moses was feeling, because I don't know about y'all, but my attitude, I'd pop off. I would be like, heck no. Bump all y'all. Y'all just out here dying. You know what? Die. I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm about to be out. Period. That's the way I would initially respond. Okay? Because it's like, are y'all serious? Are y'all gonna get mad at me when I just freed you from Pharaoh? Take your tails back. Go ahead. Be slaves. I'm tired of talking to y'all. Y'all see me rant all the time. If you follow me on YouTube, YouTubers, what's up, y'all? Y'all know I've been ranting all the time. I be like, oh my God, you guys. And then I come back and I'm like, I'm sorry. I love y'all. I'm gonna be here. I ain't going nowhere. Because we're human. So the first thing that happened, they go into the wilderness, and the king, Pharaoh, He's like, yeah, they're in the wilderness and they don't even know they're about to be stranded. So I'm about to pop up on them and I'm taking them back. I'm going to kill everybody. Everybody get ready. We're going to go get them because they stupid. They went into the wilderness. That was so dumb. I know they lost. I know they starving. I know they don't want to come back. See, haters and other things that work against you could be watching your moves. That's why you can't tell everybody what you're up to, because they're not going to get it anyway. You've been called to go the wilderness direction. They're not going to understand what you're talking about. So don't spend time trying to explain your vision and the pull that you're led to. Don't spend time trying to explain it to people who have the wrong mentality. Now here's what I love. God made Pharaoh's heart, he made his heart harden. It says in the scripture that I will make the king stubborn again, and he will try to catch you. So God purposely sent Pharaoh after them. And that's interesting, because a lot of times people like to challenge Christianity, people like to challenge God, because they're like, well, if God is real, then why do we have death? Why do we have this? And why do we have that? Right? That makes you just feel so whatever. But look at what God did. He took these people the long way. He freed them. But their mind's so cluttered, they don't even value the freedom. They don't even understand how to value the freedom. And that's what's wrong with a lot of us. A lot of times we have depression and all these different things, and we're oppressed by our mindsets because we don't understand how free we truly are in Christ and in the real world. You can make your life whatever you want it to be. You really can. But it starts with your mind. So what's interesting is, they're free. They don't value it. God's cool. He chilling. He know what's up. He know the future. So Moses is like, okay, we're going to follow this. God is giving Moses direction. Moses is following. He's being a leader. And so then God comes back in chapter 14, and he says, verse 4, I will make the king stubborn again. So God purposely made the king mad. So you know how sometimes you sit back and you start thinking about what somebody did to you, you be like, you know what? Oh, heck no. Moses ran up in my camp, took my slaves. Everybody riding. This is pretty much what Pharaoh did. So he goes, I will make the king stubborn and he will try to catch you. Then I will destroy him and his army. So what I love is that God purposely sent the enemy after them. And God told them in the previous chapter, he told them where to go. So he told them to go sit over here in the wilderness. He told them exactly where to be. And then at the same time, he was working on the heart of Pharaoh to get angry again and go after where God told him to be. What? That doesn't even make any sense. Or does it? And I always say this, I believe we're here to prove God, and you can't prove that God is real if you're not going to overcome. Your life should be a life of overcoming. You should always be elevated. You're a victor. So you have to go through something. Right? And so what's interesting is God already knew the plan. I'm going to sit y'all right here. I'm going to send Pharaoh. Pharaoh's going to be, whatever. Don't worry about it. I got you. I'm going to win. So what happens is as soon as the children of Israel see that Pharaoh's coming, they're freaking out. And they literally start going off on Moses. They literally start saying like, bro, you could have left us back. You thought it was not enough graves back there? We could have died back there. So now we're going to die in the wilderness. Why? Like, why did you bring us out here to die? Like, they're pissed off and they're crying out to God and they mad. They forgot all the miracles that have happened. That's why miracles are not what you should be looking for, because miracles make you lazy. You expect miracles, which means you don't have to do your part. Your part is to have faith even though a Pharaoh is chasing you. Your part is to have faith even though you don't know how you gonna make whatever. Your job is to have faith. Your job is to make faith moves. Your job is to keep walking, keep following, keep doing and moving, even though things look a little crazy. That's why you gotta stay plugged into God. Because if not, you're gonna always find something to complain about, right? Right, so look. When they saw Pharaoh coming, they got pissed off. They started going off on Moses, and they literally was complaining. And if you're a leader, you know that when you're trying to do something different, when you know what you're up to is what needs to happen, people are going to complain. And we've got to think like Moses and just still keep following the orders that are coming to you. Okay? Those comments, those things that you feel in your core, in your heart, in your gut, keep following those orders. Right? And so God already told Moses, look, tell the Israelites to move forward. Can you imagine? They're complaining. They see that Pharaoh's coming. They see the enemy coming, and God's like, look, why y'all calling me? Didn't I tell you what was going to happen? Move forward. I promise you this is what it says. I'm looking at it in front of it. I'm just giving y'all paraphrasing, right? And so all the time, God had already gone before them. One of my favorite prayers to pray before I get on stage, before I speak, before I turn on this live stream is, go before me. God, go before me just like you did for the children of Israel. That way, whatever I say sinks in your heart and you're convicted to change. Because I'm not up here because I'm getting paid to do it. I just feel led to do it, so I do it, right? But at the end of the day, I don't want this stuff to fall on deaf ears. I want it to go into your heart and inspire you to be all that you can be in this short lifetime. And everything starts with your mind. Everything starts with your mind. So Moses, the army's coming, people are complaining. Moses stretches forth his rod, splits the sea. They go through. The sea crashes everybody, and it's another victory. It's another thing that they've overcome. But I thought the dynamics of the scenario was so interesting, and we all can relate to feeling like we just made a move. Some of you guys just started a business. How many of you guys have, let me see how many entrepreneurs on here. You guys, okay, wait. I know this could be blurry for you. Let me know, guys, how many entrepreneurs are on here? How many of you guys have a side hustle that you just started? How many of you guys are excited about what you're up to? But it seems like it's going into the wilderness or some foreign land because you don't really know all of the details. A lot of people that follow me, that's what you're up to. You're starting new things in your life. How many of you guys are starting some new relationships? How many of you guys are starting some new finance habits, right? That's just like going into the wilderness because you are what you always, like the core of you. Everything that you see around you has to do, I see you guys commenting, right? Get in the comments. Oh, by the way, if you're watching the replay, we need to comment too. And this is not just Keisha Talk. I want to see all of your comments, okay? So I see you guys handing up and yeses. So when you start a business, when I started, New Cosmetologist and DFW, what's up? So when I started, I didn't know. I just knew that I wasn't going to work corporate because I just couldn't. I had too many corporate jobs and I was over it. And I knew that I had the skill set of doing hair. That was my beginning, real beginning to entrepreneurship. I've been selling stuff for the longest, but doing hair, I was like, I'm gonna go all in, right? And so here are these people that have been delivered from oppression. And so a lot of times when you get into the entrepreneur world, it's exciting because it feels like you are delivered from the 9 to 5. You don't have the boss. But then after the excitement dies down, you realize like, oh snap, this is real. Like, what am I supposed to do on a day-to-day basis that will get me to the promise? Come on, that will get me to the promise. The promise is, allegedly, when you start a business, people want the promise of, financial stability and making your own hours and the freedom that comes with it. But what are the steps that get me there? What's the mindset that gets me there? I see you guys in the comment, right? So listen. This is what happens when we try new things. Same thing with money. You get new money, or you want to get more money, but you got to correct the old money habits. That's like going into the wilderness. When I first decided to learn about a budget, I read the same book so many times, and I just kept saying, I don't get it. Like, Lord, I don't get it. And then I realized I need to stop saying I don't get it, because you'll never get what you feel like what you don't get. Like, why would I expect to get something if all I say every day is I don't get it? So yeah, that was easy. I can stop that. Anybody doing that? Oh, I'm just alone. Let me see some emoji hands, right? So anytime we step out to do something new, it's gonna feel like you're stepping into the wilderness, and that's okay. And you're gonna feel like Pharaoh and his chariots and his army and all the evilness is against you. You're gonna feel like it's not fair. I felt this nudge to go start this new thing, and now I'm feeling like I'm out here. I'm vulnerable right now. Hey, what's up, Danielle? I'm vulnerable right now. God, I'm mad. How you gonna tell me to leave? I quit my job. Some of y'all quit y'all job too early. It's okay, right? But we've done this. I've done that before. And then you feel like it's frustrating. So now, just like the children of Israel, we complain. Patrick says every new step requires greater responsibility. Exactly. What's up, brother? So listen, I just thought this was interesting because when I was taking notes, so this is when I do my own Bible study, guys, I take notes. And so here they are. They're delivered from oppression. Here was the important parts. They were in Egypt. God said they're going to go to Canaan, the land of the Canaanites and Hittites. I don't want to say those names. But that was the promised land, right? A land of milk and honey. It was a prosperous land. It was a rich land. And it took them 40 years, okay? 40 years. It was a 35-day walk. It took them 40 years. Hey guys, what's going on? Yes, comment. So they're delivered from oppression, but their mind is still oppressed. So it's that the mind is more powerful even than the promises that God has for you. God wants you to prosper. God wants you to be successful. God wants you to overcome. God wants you to be free of whatever you want to release. But you cannot get any of those promises. There are so many promises in the Bible that you just naturally will get when you sow. When you sow the right seeds, you get to reap. Sowers get to reap. What are you sowing? Are you sowing words of negativity, thoughts of negativity? That's what you're going to reap. Are you sowing good habits? Are you giving? Are you being a lover? Like, what are you doing? Because that's what you're going to reap. So when I started business, I thought that there was a guarantee, but there's no guarantee. Most people don't start business because they're looking for a guarantee. Now, y'all know I could rant on that for a minute, but I'm going to go. So listen, the mind is more powerful than the promises. So stop just, like, when I was growing up at church, it was always like, if God says the same and God willing. And really, that's lazy because God gave you the will. God gave you the will. So he's not going to go against your willpower. So if you decide that you're going to do something, it's up to you. If it is to be, it is up to me, period. The promise is the promise. God doesn't change, and God ain't got time to be worried about all of that. Like, the rule is the rule. He's done with it. It's already there. It's been the rule forever, right? But it's our job to do our part. So I want you guys to think today, what mindset do I have right now? And all you got to do is look around. Look around your life. Because it's going to tell you your mindset. And if you want to go to a new level, you've got to level the mind first. Or else, when you get free from something, or when you obtain something that you wanted, it's going to always go right back to where you were until you change your mind. I'm telling y'all, how you think determines whether you receive God's promises. How you think determines whether you will receive God's promises. Thank you. Look, come on. I'm done. I see y'all in the comments. Came in just on time. I can't miss Minister Lakeisha's sermon. And I'm not a minister. I just be so fired up because I'm like, wow, the Bible really can change your entire life. And my life has changed because of the word. So I have no choice. I feel compelled and convicted to share this with you guys. Faith without works is dead. Yes, Danielle. And working on your mind is the biggest thing you can do. So it's funny you said that because let me see what I wrote. I wrote something like that. I wrote it somewhere. Maybe it's on another sheet of paper. The mind is the biggest thing that you need to work on, period. The mind is the biggest thing that you need to work on because you can get it all. You do not want to get whatever you're trying to get only to lose it. And because you're going to get even more depressed. And then the lie that your mind is going to tell you is that, it didn't work, or that works for so-and-so, or that doesn't work for me. When I first started my hair salon business, I remember someone told, she's a veteran hairdresser. She's been a hairdresser for like maybe 15, 20 years. And she was like, why would you get a booth? Like, basically, she was like, I got a booth rental. I rented a station. And it was like $200 a week. And I didn't have the money. That was the wilderness. I didn't have the money, but I knew that I was not going to go to sleep until I make sure I have everything I need. That's what I did know. I didn't know the how, but I knew what I was committed to. Some of you guys are waiting on the how, and you don't even need to know that. Just know what you're committed to. Know what you're committed to. When you know that, like, what else matters? Because from a day-to-day basis, if you look at the children of Israel, God always provided. So the moral of the story is God will always provide. You've got to do your part. Everything starts in your mind. And then don't wait for all these miracles and signs. They're always, every day, they're always miracles. It's a miracle that you're alive. It's a miracle that you're alive, okay? Every time you take a deep breath, somebody literally dies. Somebody just had a wreck. Somebody didn't wake up. So there's miracles every day. But a miracle alone will not change you. Because if your mind is the same, you will experience the miracle, you will get excited, and then you're going to just go back to what you was doing. Anybody ever got excited? How many of y'all get excited about what I'm doing and then you go back to your life? And then you be like, Keisha's so hyper, like whatever. I be hearing y'all, all up in your brain. I know what y'all be saying. I've had people tell me all the time, you're too hyper, you're too loud, you talk too fast. I get it. I'm not for you. You're not for everybody. It's cool. If it's 3 people, I'm still be me. If it's 29 million, I'm still be me. Period. You're not for everybody. Keisha, you're preaching, girl. I'm just saying, I'm so fired up about it because I'm like, you guys, you can change. What are you dealing with right now that you want to change? It starts in your mind. And don't be discouraged if you've tried to change something and then you fail. Get back up and try again. Get back up and try again. That's it. And I love this story because eventually they figured it out. Now, some people might have to die out. You know, some people lived through it, some people made it, some people didn't, because it's all in your mindset. And boy, oh boy, I would not think about this. It's hard, y'all. It's not easy to change your mind, because if you grew up in oppression, if you grew up in poor mentality, lack mentality, that's not easy. That's not easy to break. So when you go to change and you get fired up, maybe you go to a conference, right? When you get back from the conference and you step back into your real world, you're like, fish out of water. So you might be fired up for a week, 3 days, and then all of a sudden, you back to your old habits. That's why you gotta watch your environment. You gotta watch the people that you're surrounding yourself with. You gotta watch what you're listening to. What do you wake up listening to? What do you wake up looking at? Because you're always planting seeds in the ground of your mind. And so your mind is gonna grow plants that have everything to do with what you're visually letting in. Come on, y'all. Now that's a whole nother lesson. I can really go deep on that one. I'm done. I hope you guys are inspired to really look at up-leveling your mindset. Understand this. It's okay that you may have fallen down, you tried something new, and you feel like, you know, oh man, it's not for me. But you still feel like you really want to do it. It's okay, start again. Don't be embarrassed. Get around people who don't judge you. That's why I have this moment, because I don't judge nobody. Like, I ain't got time, first of all. I don't even have the thought capacity. I don't want to. But there's a reason why we do things. I understand that. And so when you develop a new mindset, then you don't do that stuff no more. The end. And if you fall back into it, well, what's the mindset? What's the habits? What's the environment? We get to change our lives. And so I want you guys to go check out Exodus 13 and Exodus 14. Read it today and read the CEV version. If you feel like, oh, every time I read the Bible, I don't know, just read the CEV version, because it's contemporary English. So it's going to be broken all the way down in super layman's terms, and it's super easy. Okay, guys? It blew my mind today. The mind is more powerful than a promise. The mind is more powerful than a promise. Some of y'all took a weight loss program. They had a promise. Although they say no guarantees in pretty much everything. There are really no guarantees in life besides time and death. But here's the thing. You took the program and you was like, they promised I was going to do this. But what was your mind? You might need to take the program like 5 times, because each time you go through the program, you're at a different mentality. That's why you can read the same book 70 times. You can read the Bible 1,000,000 times, and it'll always land differently because your mind is in a different place. So I just want to inspire you guys. The mind is more powerful than a promise. The mind has to be ready for the answer. So the answer is the promise, but your mind has to be ready for it. If it's not, the answer's in your face, and you'll never see it, you'll never feel it, you'll never experience it, because your mind is in the way. And how you think determines whether you will receive what God promises. That's it, y'all. Go read this. Be inspired. All you gotta do is say, how can I apply this to my life? And then get quiet, and you'll notice all this stuff comes to you. Write it down and really look at, what thought processes you have and which ones you want to release. And then celebrate new thoughts. When you release a bad thought, you have to immediately bring on a new thought that is empowering. So that now you don't just release it and you're just dangling out there. So if you say, okay, you say like, I, hate whatever. Like say you say I'm fat. Instead of saying I'm fat, I'm so excited about my body now and where it's going in the future. That's it. You gotta love what you are, and you gotta love where you're going. You just give yourself hate, and I hate that I'm this, and I'm fat, and this. You're gonna always be that. Your words are literally plants and seeds. They predict the future. I'm just saying. So, you guys, I love you. Go ahead and read Exodus 14 and 13. I see the comments coming through. What's up, Jeffrey? Styles by Hot Commodity. What's up, boo? Beauty by Christian Noel. Renona. AKEL. I don't know what that says, how to say it, but what's up? You're real and living your best life. Thank you. Hey guys, I see all the highs. Keisha, what's up, Lily? What's up, Steve, Danielle, Patrick, Misty? It's like people who want to lose weight have all the excuses of why they can't stop eating. Just do it. How bad do you want? I know that's right. Go ahead, Misty. Misty's on her journey of healing. I've been watching you for a while, love. Ever since you started the CEO Stylist, I've just watched you elevate your mentality and take action and just keep trying, keep trying. You got sick and then you got back up. So I just want to, what I love is that I just watched her do that over social media. Me and Misty, we've never met in person. Never met in person. But I watched her just really keep up-leveling her mentality. And if something went sideways, she came back. She came back with a vengeance. So I want to celebrate you for that, Misty. I love it. Patrick, my brother. Dominique, what's up? Okay, so I am Star. What's going on, Mama? Okay, you guys, you know we got like 10 minutes. For those of you who want to stay on, we've been doing this on Good Tea for Life. How many of you guys went and actually got these balls? These are workout balls. I think you can get them like on Amazon. Just type it into Google. But I have a new one that Gigi gave me. Now this one is more intense. So, oh, let me see. I just moved the comments. Thank you, 90. Wow, 90 pounds down. Let's celebrate Misty. Oh my gosh. So you guys, this one has this ball. This is what we do. We roll the balls. We give it like 10 minutes. We're gonna just work out for 10 minutes. You preaching this morning, good word, enjoy it. Thank you. Now, if you're watching this right now, I don't care if you're at work, bring your coworkers. I had people send me videos. I need to get those videos. And they were at work and they still did the workouts with us. These are easy workouts. Do the modified version if you can't move your body. Listen, if you move your body for 30 minutes a day, you get your heart rate up. It releases the same thing that when people have to take high blood pressure medicine, whatever that thing, that chemical is, your body can naturally release it. So this is our moment to just be in our health, right? And just move our body, get our blood pressure up. It's not about being skinny or big. It's about being healthy from the inside, okay? And so we're going to move around. I got this new ball, but I'm kind of scared of it. It has a lot. It has 15 squat jumps. We ain't doing that today. We're gonna keep it simple. Listen, I just made the decision. So we're gonna roll this dice, and then it's gonna tell us what to do. And we're gonna do this for 10 minutes, and then we're done. If you are going to do this with me, let me see some emojis. Give me like a fitness arm in the comments, or give me some hands up. Thank you. This was much needed today. You're welcome, Shakia. You're so welcome. You guys, it was deep, huh? I be just ranting, and then I realized we were talking about mindset. That's actually stuff that makes people go like this. Calm down, Michelle. Sorry to get fired up. So, we're about to do this. I'm gonna set the timer on the computer. For those of you who already know what's about to go down, get ready. Oh, and I have a webinar tonight. I forgot. Webinar tonight at 8 o'clock. If you guys want to talk about making money while getting healthy, you guys don't want to miss this. You do not want to miss this. If you know that you're tired of trading time for dollars and you want to have a life of freedom and you want to start building now, even though you don't know all the hows, I want you to meet me on this webinar. And you want to transform your body, you guys, I'm on day 60. Well, I'm in my 60-day sprint. Your girl, now if we just go back to the older videos, I had way more little something right here. Listen, I'm just trying to get my belly down. Is my tag out? I'm just trying to get my belly down so that I can get some abs, okay? That's my goal. Now listen, your goal is your goal. What's interesting is that the last couple weeks, I haven't been working out because I don't know, I just did it. So, I'm back at it. And the workout that I did do before that was this. So, let's hit it. I see the arms. I see you guys are ready, the emoji arms. We're about to get it. So, I'm gonna set the timer. The timer is, let me put the link to the webinar in the comments. Link to the webinar in the comments. I want you guys, and if you're on my email list, I'll send it out to you guys. Let me see, live now. Let me put the link to the comments on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? I just put the link there. You guys go register for this webinar. It's 8 p.m. tonight, okay? Click the link on your screen, and that's gonna be 8 p.m. tonight. We're talking about making money and getting healthy. We're talking about recurring revenue. So you guys, recurring revenue is while I'm asleep, money is happening. Every Monday, money is deposited into my bank account as a result of me helping you guys get healthy and wealthy. And you can do the same. Bring your friends. You ain't gotta do no crazy stuff. It's gonna be amazing. You guys, you don't wanna miss it. You really don't. All I can say is the truth that I love it. Okay, so I put the comments in there. We're about to get started. I'm about to set the timer. And remember, we found the timer on Google. So I just love Google. We're gonna do 10 minutes. It's 10:55. So at 11:05, let me reset this. So I'm gonna roll the dice. What time is that Eastern? That's 9 o'clock Eastern. 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. So, I just think, okay. Oh my God, 30 crunches. Okay, here we go. Hold on, y'all. 30 crunches. Are you guys ready? If you can't do the crunches, do something. Jump around. But here we go. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my mat. Hold on. I don't know. I forgot to bring it over here. 30 crunches. Oh, here we go. I do not like crunches. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. I don't care. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I wasn't doing it wrong. I feel that. All right. Okay, y'all. Did y'all do the crunches or y'all just watch me? Y'all better do the crunches. Give me 25 push-ups. Did mine. Oh, what? Steve, you can't be making up stuff. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got. 90 seconds of push-ups. Y'all ready? Here we go. Oh, my push-ups are rusty. I'm not gonna use this mat because I feel like I'm gonna fall. Okay, 90 seconds. Let me set the timer. Here we go, y'all. If you can't do the regular push-up, just get on your knees. But just do something. Here we go. 1. I don't need to count. Just gotta get 90 seconds. Let's see the timer. Okay. 1 minute and 15 seconds. Woo! 1 minute and 7 seconds. Keep going, y'all. Okay. My arms hurt. 52 seconds. I'm doing the shortcut ones. I mean the whatever this is called. The modified versions. These are my triceps. 38 seconds. Let's go, y'all. Do what you can. Don't beat yourself up. If you're at work, grab a coworker. Woo! It's burning. Oh my God, it's the longest time ever. Okay. My arms burn. 10 seconds. Okay. Almost done, y'all. Timer, hurry up. It's taking too long. Oh my God. Oh, my mute button is on. The freaking mute button is on. There we go. Don't be laughing at me. Why y'all ain't right. I don't even care if y'all laugh at me. How radical will you be? I'm not a fitness pro, so I don't care. As long as I do what I said I'm gonna do. Boom. All right, next time. Next thing. We got 5 more minutes, y'all. Stick with me. We got 5 more minutes. Okay, the arm chair about to fall off. I'm gonna roll on the floor. Let's see what we got. Okay, we rolled the dice, and it said, my arm's burning. Wild card. Okay, what are you? 60 seconds, you guys. 60 seconds of either push-ups, crunches, jumping jacks, squats. What we doing? Hurry up. What we doing? Put it in the comments. Y'all are wrong. Why are y'all laughing at me? Because my push-ups look funny. Make sure you guys meet me on the webinar tonight. Okay, squats. Lily said squats. Let's go. 60 seconds. I'm about to start the timer. And this time I'm gonna put the freaking I'm gonna put the sound on. Okay, here we go. Let's hit the squats. Remember, squeeze your butt in tight. Let's go. We got 60 seconds of squats. Sit all the way down, like you're sitting on the seat. For some of you, you could even sit in the chair, like this, right? If you need to start slowly, you can do that. For others, You want to go all the way down. Keep your back straight. And bring it up like so. Okay? Let's go. Let's get it. 18 seconds left. We have like 4 minutes and then we are done with the broadcast, with the workout, and your life shall continue to be amazing. 5 seconds left. Let's go, let's go. Oh, we did it. Anybody else do crunches and then you feel like you really got abs like right now? Look at them abs. Okay, I'm about to roll the dice again. We got like 4 more minutes. It says, oh my God, 90 seconds of squats. We gotta do squats again, Lily. Come on, girl. We got 90 seconds. Let's go. 90 seconds of squats. I wanna see you, even though I can't see you. Let's get it. 90 seconds of squats. Let's go. We need some workout music. I'm gonna start putting some workout music on, guys. I'm gonna make some songs so that Facebook don't cut me off. And it's gonna be for our workout. I don't know about y'all, but my thighs are burning. Let's get it. Let's go. We got 56 seconds of squats. Let's get it. Make sure you guys meet me on the webinar tonight. We're gonna talk about getting wealthy and healthy at the same time. How many of you guys want to make more money? How many of you guys started a business and forgot that you gotta have a strategy? And you don't want to be trading so much time for dollars. I have an opportunity for you guys that's gonna allow you to have freedom in your body and in your bank account. If you want to have an above average body, if you want to have an above average bank account, you want to meet me here. The link is in the comments. The webinar is at 8 p.m. Central. Woo! My thighs are burning. I'm definitely going to feel this tomorrow. OMG. Okay, guys. We got one more. It's 11:03. I'm going to hurry up and roll the dice. If you got to do something with me, y'all. Okay. Walking lunges. 30 seconds. If you can't do lunges, do jumping jacks. But do something. It says 30 seconds of walking lunges. Here we go. You guys ready? You're going to walk, step out, and then make sure your back is straight. You're going to go down. Okay? But you're going to walk and do that. So here we go. We're almost done. I'm gonna do it all the way back to the computer. Oh my God, that burns. And it's 11, oh no, we got 1 more minute. Oh, we gotta do 11 o'clock, not 11:04. Let's just do jumping jacks. We're gonna do 30 seconds of jumping jacks and then we're done. 30 seconds of jumping jacks. You ready? Let's go. Let's go. Move your body as much as you can. Even if you can't do the jumping jacks. Do what you can, and over time, you can do more. There's always room for more. Let's go, 9 seconds left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We did it, y'all. We did it. We got our mindset right, and we did a workout. And that wasn't no pump workout. My heart is beating so fast. It's amazing. So, listen, I'm literally done. I'm done for the day. Girl, I can't breathe. How do you talk through that? You know what? I'm a singer. You have to know how to hold your breath and talk at the same time, and sing at the same time. So, how do I talk you, baby? You gotta know how to do it. You know how to people trying to say you can't dance and sing? The way you do that is when you're doing cardio, you have to sing while you're running. So like, I used to go running when I lived in, I'm gonna try to run down here, but I don't trust them streets. They're not bad, but I'm not. But on a treadmill, some of you guys have been like when I've done events and stuff and I've been working out before the event, you'll see me on the treadmill like singing and running and doing exercises because that builds up your stamina. So even when you're really out of breath, you learn how to talk through it and use your breath properly. So anyway, see you guys later. Holla back. Webinar tonight is at 8 p.m. Central, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, and that is, what is that in Cali? 6 p.m. in California. So, which is Pacific. Meet me there if you want to talk about wealth and health. I love you for doing this workout with me, for laughing at me, for getting your mind right. Hard work paying off. Good job. Thank you. I will see you guys later. Holla. Bye YouTube. Bye Facebook.